What is up, you guys? It's your spiritual fairy godmother, and I am back. Okay, I am back with another read. So today is September the 17th. Okay, it is a super moon, and it is also a harvest full moon. It is a partial solar eclipse, and Friday the 13th just passed. Okay, so we got a lot of energy kind of like happening in the world right now, a lot of energy surrounding us. So I definitely want to go ahead and tap in and just kind of see what comes out, see what we can look forward to during this full moon, and just tap into maybe a little bit of guidance, like how we can have the best experience, during this time. So let's go ahead and start with some astrology. I just heard the ghetto nun, and I don't start with reversals because that's some bull, and I'm seeing so many reversals, right? So it's the energy where it's kind of like, well, flip it upside down. But does flipping it upside down, like, change what it is? Like, change the dynamic of it? Does it really change the energy of it? Or is what you believe true? What you think true? Right? Like, even with these readings, like, yes, people who do readings have gifts, but I feel like everybody got gifts, right? Everybody just uses them in different ways. Like, even people who are like bankers and stuff like that, like people who are investors or people who are really, really good at math or people who are good with money, like that's your God-given gift. Not everybody has the gift of being able to do mental math, right? So this feels like embracing what your gift is exactly how it is, like not feeling like it's backwards or upside down or like it's different. Like this just feels like going through and not like nitpicking, not even really paying attention. It's just like, all right, we gonna fix this, that's like it's not. Oh, I almost got choked up. Like it's not. And I seen something the other day that was on somewhere on social media. Spirituality is weird because you be on social media and it's like you can't believe everything that you hear, right? But something was like superstitions that we've all grown up with, and one of them was, if you get choked up while you're speaking, you're supposed to shut up. Or it's something that ain't meant to be said, but it's like, what if that's the challenge? Like, to not allow yourself to be stopped, to not allow yourself to not get off whatever it is that's on your chest, whatever it is that you feel like you need to say, to use your voice, to use your gifts. Like this season, this moment in time, like this feels like the time that you've been waiting for. Like this also feels like no longer being in a space of like waiting for things to happen, waiting for things to go your way, waiting for things to work out. Like this is just going for it. No longer saying like, I want to be this version of myself, I want to get more money, I want to get in the gym, I want to grow my hair longer, I want to be a baby, like not telling yourself what you gotta do in order to be the person that you want to be, but instead just doing it. So instead of saying, oh, I need to get my shit together, this is like literally, and I need to be saying it to myself too, but this is literally like embracing exactly where you are. Like embracing how much you do have, or embracing the healing that you have done. Okay, this is a full moon in Pisces. Pisces are very emotional, but they're also very mystical. They're also very mysterious. Like you don't know everything about a Pisces person, right? So this energy is kind of giving me like the thing that you've been keeping to yourself, that gift, that talent. Some of y'all can sing, are artists, like some things just feel right, because sometimes I do the deck and I don't care if there's reversals. For some reason, I was guided to fix all of them. So it's like sometimes you have to go with like what you feel, even if what the world is showing you looks different. Even if, and I don't want to say that in a sense of like relationships, because, but even then, I feel like sometimes you don't have to take things personal. Like this energy kind of feel like whatever is happening outside of you. your actions, your reactions, what you're doing, the decisions that you're making, the things that you're choosing on a day-to-day basis, those are within you. Those are within your control. Other than that, and even my teacher was telling me about it, like telling the whole class about it, but I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure y'all done seen it all over Facebook or social media. But the 4 agreements, and one is to never take things personally. You know, and it's like, I can understand that. Like, I understand why that's a principle to live by, because what somebody has been through and what somebody is going through will affect how they treat you, but it doesn't always reflect how they feel about you. Yeah. Because, like, and I can only ever use me for example, like, because I don't know, you know, but it's like, me wanting to be by myself don't have anything to do with my man or my friends or my mama or the people I'm around. Me snapping or getting angry or frustrated, most of the time I'm just overstimulated. It don't got nothing to do with you, my kid, my dog. Like, certain actions that I have, even though they affect the people that I'm around, they're not always because of the people that I'm around. So this is like becoming selfish and unselfish at the same time. It's like learning balance in this season, because for a lot of us, I feel like we try to reach this level of perfection or reach this level of having it all together, or we're constantly searching for this next phase of us, who we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be doing it. And like, sometimes I think it's important to realize that, like, we're human beings, and a part of being a human is fucking up. There's so much grace, there's so much opportunity, there's so many good things that just comes from mistakes, fucking up, making a bad decision, making a left turn, like going off track. Like, I feel like there are certain qualities, there's certain character building that comes with that. And I think I kind of veered off of what I was saying, for real. But overall, like, this season is just coming into balance. Being balanced with your decisions versus the things you can't control. It's like being aware of what you tell people versus what you don't. Being aware of being disciplined, but also having leisure, you know, and finding enjoyment in life, doing hood rat stuff with your friends, you know, like just being a person, you know, because like, I think once you reach a certain level of healing, it's kind of like, I done got a taste of it, and now I want more. I want to be better. I want to be more successful. And then you add into that social media. Even if you're not constantly on social media, even if you don't have the fear of missing out, or you're not trying to do what other people are doing, it can have, like, even being inspired by somebody sometime can be a bad thing, right? Because again, only can use me as an example, but sometimes, like, I watch my YouTube girlies and I'm so inspired by them that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post every day, you know. Like, I love how she edited that video. Like, I want to download a app. I want to start editing my videos. I like that. I'm inspired by that was a vibe, right? And then it'd be like, that's not for you, or that's not your lane, or maybe it will work out, whatever, but like, everything ain't for everybody. And sometimes being on social media, you have to learn to find the balance between, am I just listening, or am I taking in information and then feeling some type of way about myself? Because like, even Like when we're on social media, we're listening, like we're taking something in, we're taking things in. Sometimes you can watch a person's story without putting in your input, without feeling like, oh, I'm gonna like this picture. Oh, I'm gonna actively not like this picture. Oh, they got this new car. Oh, I want a new car. Or dang, her man must have broke up. Like it's just the instant information that we're listening to that's constantly making impressions, like whether we know it or not. Like even just funny stuff, like you may not even realize that a TikTok that made an impression on you, but you done scrolled and heard it so many times, you randomly in the hallway, in the lobby, at the store, in a car drive, and you're singing it. So this is a time and a space to like find the balance between just taking information in without having to absorb it. Like I can learn things from my parents, I can learn things from my friends, I can see how this person did that, I can see how their businesses ran, but that don't mean I gotta do that, or that don't mean I have to feel inadequate if I'm not doing that, right? Like this is no longer making it a scale or levels to your growth. Like this is just being like, I'm just growing, right? I'm not down here, I'm not up here. Like, and that's not to say like don't congratulate yourself or be proud of yourself, but there's always something to strive for. So there's a blessing in just being in the middle, being in the middle of something, like being in the, not even in the beginning, because I feel like whatever it is that you're questioning, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a new position, whether that's a new hobby you thinking about picking up, whether that's you changing up your style, your wardrobe, whether that's you wanting to start a family, whether that's you wanting to go abroad, wanting to go back to school, travel for a year, like there are so many things, that so many dreams, so many goals, so many ambitions that we have on a daily that we have control over and make it happen. And sometimes we get so to the point where it's like we want so much more than what we already have that we're not actively investing in where we are in the moment in order to get to that place that we're seeking so badly. It's like finding things outside of yourself. My classmates were talking to me about that. And it's just like we searching for things that we already have. Like sometimes when we're single, we're searching for a lover. Sometimes when we don't have kids, we want kids. Sometimes when we have a job but we see other people having more, we want a better job, or we want more jobs, or sometime in a career it don't feel fulfilling, you want something more. I want more than just the money. I want to feel good at my job. It's like we always want more. Even my daughter, like for a while when I wasn't having money and business wasn't doing as well as it is now, it's like I was getting frustrated and irritated by her just wanting things from me. When, for one, she's a child, so she should be able to ask for things. And for two, I never want to not be able to ask for God. I never want to not be able to ask God for something because I have too much. God can make anything happen. So I want to teach my daughter that whatever you want to happen, believe it and it can happen. So if you asking me for something, even if I don't got the money, ask God for it. Like I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, you ungrateful. Because wanting more doesn't equal being ungrateful. There's a balance between I'm grateful for this, I like this, but I also see how that can make my life better. I also see how that can make me happy. So it's not to say you can't have it, but it's like there's a balance between appreciating what you got. There's a balance in that middle, in that in between. Even before when you falling asleep, there's a safety, there's a beautifulness in that. I'm still consciously aware of what's happening in my body, but also I'm in a whole different realm, right? Like there is so much good that can just come out of things in the middle. Like, even if you're a middle sibling or something like that, you know, this just feels like you learning to just be okay. Learning to just be okay. Okay, this full moon feels like it's bringing you a different level of peace. Like a peace where it's like, I don't really know what's gonna happen, but because I'm leaving it in God's hands, because I'm leaving it up to God to do whatever is gonna happen and whatever is in my best interest, I'm not stressed about it. If there is something I can do to make my situation better, cool, I'm gonna do that. But I just don't see myself stressing about it. Like, for some reason, it's coming in my mind like, you don't have to cut corners. Like, you don't have to. You can, if that's what make life easier for you, if that's what works for you. But sometimes there are things that you just gotta do. You just gotta do it. Everything can't always just be about us. There has to be a balance between putting your friends, your people, first, and then also putting you first. There has to be, I'm considering them, but I'm considering me first. Like, there's even times where you got to put other people before you. When it's just the responsible thing to do, when it's the kind thing to do, when it's the most respectful thing to do in that situation. Like, this is just finding balance, finding the good and the bad in whatever situation may arise for you. It's not about stressing anymore. It's not about frustrating yourself or laying down in the bed, procrastinating. It's not about waiting until the last minute to get it done. It's not about doing so much every day that you're so exhausted when you get home, you barely have time for yourself. It's not about always going out, but it's also not about always staying in. Like, there is no complete right way to be, whether you're spiritual, Christian, Muslim, whether you don't subscribe to anything, whether you're an accountant or a doctor, whether you don't got no money versus whether you're a millionaire. Like, at some point before you were who you were today, there was a middle version of you. Getting back to that, not saying getting back to as if that's where you should be, but it's like getting to the point where you realize, at least I'm not there anymore. And I may not be where I want to be, but one day, this middle that I'm in right now is going to be the beginning of something else. I just don't know it yet. So, like, really, really, really finding the gratitude. And, like, also just knowing your body, like, being able to sense when I have to work a lot versus when I gotta chill, when I gotta grind, when I gotta get it, versus when I gotta allow things to come to me. When I gotta feed myself versus I'm probably not eating for hunger. When I'm gonna spend some money versus am I spending money because I really need this, or like, am I buying this for comfort? So there's a lot of readjusting, but also just acceptance that's happening during this week, this month. I'll say this season, to be honest, because this work doesn't feel like it's just gonna happen overnight. Like, it definitely feels like it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time for sure. So this is looking at yourself in the mirror and just feeling different. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's this feeling that I'm feeling, but I feel a blessing. Like I don't see my blessing yet, but for some reason I feel it. It's like that feeling. Have y'all felt that before? You know, it's like when you literally don't know why you're so at peace, or why you're not stressing, or why you just feel good or happy, or like you just do. And it's cause God is just having that anointing on you, that the bliss, you know, you have so many different energetic body fields. You have so many different chakra systems and koshas, and there are so many energetic channels that are unseen. So being balanced in the physical realm versus the spiritual realm, being able to control your mental health issues if you have them, being able to know the difference between your voice versus God's voice, being able to heighten your gifts. So if you are clairaudient, clairsentient, God, clairaudient, clairsentient, y'all know the clairs, I don't. But whatever your clair is, whatever your gift is, whether it's the gift of sight, being able to look at the stars and know this, being able to read tea leaves, being able to do any kind of divination, right? Any kind of spiritual gifts, any gift. So if you are an artist, if you draw, this is balancing, getting back into your creative body, getting back into that energy that feels most like you, most safe, most free. This is a balance between who you were and who you're becoming. Sitting in the in-between. It just feels like gifts are heightening, and it's kind of like you in between, and you gotta pick a side, or you gotta choose something to research, choose something to get into, choose something to be passionate about, choose something to create, pick a project. Maybe you're like deciding between two things, two people, two situations, two homes, two cars. This feels like weighing out your options. Like, look at this from all different perspectives. Look at this from every different visual. Pick up the pieces, pick up the pieces. This is like picking up the pieces of your old self, like who you used to be and how you used to show up for yourself and how you used to show up for other people. All of that is changing for the better, if you allow it to. Because everybody is not changing for the better. Some people will decide, hey, I'm in the middle, I done tried to change, I noticed that shit was too hard, I'm gonna go back that way. I'm not necessarily ready yet. So this might be a season of like going back to exes. You may notice some people going back to old behaviors. You may notice like relapses, whether that's smoking, drinking, a prescription drug, something like that. This could be a time where you notice people not going to the gym, not eating as healthy, indulging, going out a little bit more. Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, because I feel like you about to do something so much that it's gonna get to the point where you don't even want to do it no more. This is like eating bologna sandwiches as a kid every day in your lunch, then growing up and hating bologna. This is like being fed up with constantly being the same. Like, this is being tired of being stuck and being ready and being motivated and just kind of like putting yourself out there and being like, look, I'm ready, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share it on all your social medias, and I am out of here, you guys. Peace.